Here is the third part of our series where we are looking into Hcmc and whether this stock is a good buy. In the first two episodes, we first initially looked at some of the good points of the company. In the second episode, we looked at some of the bad points of the company. As I always mention, there is two sides. Of course, every company is going to have some good with bad. But in this episode, we're giving a bit of a conclusion. Now, don't worry, we are going to continue to make videos on Hcmc into the future. But this is just a conclusion on the three-part series. In this episode, we're going to be quickly looking at a combination of both factors, and obviously then going on to talk about whether Hcmc stock can actually go up, because rightly so, I hear a lot of people right now a bit concerned when we have seen the price of Hcmc remain flat for so long. It's annoying and it is quite frustrating to see, but so far Hcmc on the 1 month, the RSI is coming towards the oversold. It is currently at 37. If it was 20, it would be oversold, so you can see, yes, it is 17 points off, and it isn't really too far from neutral, but definitely more towards the oversold than it is to the overbought. And when it bounces back up to 1-2, it goes a little bit higher up to the 4-1 range. Again, when it's at 1-1, it's at that slightly lower figure. But that's what we are seeing tonight in this video. If you may enjoy it, make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe. Thank you everybody for 12.4 thousand. Let's go up to 12.5 thousand, hopefully by tomorrow. Follow us on Twitter, it is at N2S Finance. You can see it on your screens. And also, feel free to join us on Patreon. Link to the Patreon can be found in the description, alongside the link to the Discord. But yeah, we're going to start off by looking at Hcmc tonight because we have covered quite a lot when it comes to the fundamentals of the business. I know a lot of you guys did enjoy our previous videos. So if you do want to see a bit of a fundamental analysis on the company, again, you can watch those two videos on the good and the bad. They will be labelled similarly to this one, but they will say part 1 and 2 on the title. But yes, first we're going to be looking at how Hcmc has been moving as a stock for the past month or so. Well, the quick way to describe this is it really hasn't moved at all in the past few weeks. We can see there that it's been flat between 1-1 and 1-2 for a long time. One thing that we are still seeing today is volume pretty decent. Volume is at 1.37 billion, which for this stock is not bad in my opinion. But yes, we are seeing the RSI figure pretty flat. If we zoom out to the past 5 days, it is absolutely neutral on 50. And obviously the MACD down here, you can see, is pretty flat as well. And again, this is just because we haven't had any movement really in the price for Hcmc. I'm sure this is getting frustrating, so let's look into the fact that Hcmc stock is down. Will it ever go back to the levels where it was? Because if we do look back a few months, we will all remember that this stock was up here. You know, at this point here of 0.004, 0.005 and 6, people are asking, can it ever get back up there? And obviously, how high can this stock go? Well, first things first, I've heard a lot of arguments on both sides, and again, we did kind of decipher these in our previous two videos. When it comes to the price of Hcmc, one thing that concerns a lot of people, and arguably rightly so, is that when we go onto the OTC markets and look up Hcmc, go to their security details, which can be found down here. If we do have a look down through the security details, we can see an outstanding share number close to 309 billion shares. Not 309 million, 309 billion. That is a big factor, and it is pretty hurtful, I believe, to the stock, and obviously it will kind of hinder our ability to move upwards. But I think it is important to remember that yes, whilst we have had the stock offering, which means that more shares will be out there, it's not enough, in my opinion, to mean that we cannot move to levels like we saw up here, where we moved up to 0.003 and even up to here at 0.006. So ultimately, I think it is possible to move this high. I do not believe we'll move as high as the 0.006 range just yet, but I think over time, slowly and surely, we could possibly move up to the 0.003. And again, I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice, but my personal opinion with Hcmc is, yes, the number of outstanding shares is too large. And when I always talk about Hcmc potentially hitting, high price targets, whether it be 1 cent, 10 cent, 50 cent, or even $1, the first thing people always comment on the video is that this company has so many outstanding shares, how is it ever going to get up there? Well people, if you do watch the video all the way through to the end, as a lot of you will know, I always say that Hcmc has absolutely no chance of getting to $1 with its current share structure. And that is what makes Hcmc a bit of a speculative play and a bit of a gamble in my opinion. Currently we have a lot of outstanding shares, you guys will already know that obviously, but if the outstanding share number does get reduced in the future, it could have a massive benefit to the company. So yes, people are talking about a potential for a buyback or even a reverse split. Some people see a reverse split as a negative. I do not necessarily see it as a bad thing. I mean, I can see how some people might think it is hurtful. For example, if you own 1 million shares right now and you think it's going to $1, but we have to have a split for it to happen, then you will not have 1 million shares, so you will not necessarily have $1 million, but the value of your shares will still be the same, if that makes sense. So yes, a reverse split is not always a bad thing, but ultimately what we are hoping for with Hcmc is a share buyback, which would obviously involve the company buying back the shares. Now, there are two ways that I believe that the company could do this. The first way is obviously using profits from the lawsuit, and the second way is slowly but surely doing so over time with profits from revenue. And again, it is coming up to the second quarter right now, so hopefully we'll have some Q2 earnings for Hcmc coming out pretty soon. But yes, I think it is possible that they could do a buyback, but ultimately I would not guarantee it happening. And again, that is the risk of Hcmc. I think, yes, the stock does have that potential to move up to double where it is right now, maybe even triple where it is right now, but if you want to see those moves up to the $1 mark, or even anything past the 1 cent mark, in my opinion, we definitely are going to need something like a reverse split or a share buyback. And again, we don't know if that's going to happen, we don't know when it's going to happen if it does happen, and there are so many variables, it just is hard to say whether it will happen, but that does boil down to why Hcmc is such a gamble. So when can we expect Hcmc to start moving? Well, here's my opinions on it. I think it does depend on what you mean by moving. I think Hcmc does still have a large amount of shareholders. I think most people who own Hcmc right now have a couple million shares perhaps, and the amount of shares that they have right now, they don't want to put any more on this company. And I do completely agree with that one. With this company, I would say don't put on any more than you're willing to lose, because it is a gamble. But I think a lot of people are happy with the numbers that they have right now, and I do understand why. But I think for that reason, we're not going to see too many people who haven't already bought buy any more shares. But I think going forwards, we do have a few catalysts coming up. Again, earnings could be good for the second quarter and obviously for the whole year of 2021. We also do have that potential very soon for the lawsuit, and an update on that. Yes, I don't think that the lawsuit will be settled this year, so please don't get me wrong. But I think when it does get settled, if it does go in their favour, it could have a big effect. So what I'm trying to say in this video, guys, is Hcmc, whilst I think it is a good buy in some ways, I think it isn't for everybody, and I think that is the most important thing, which I try and state in every single one of my Hcmc videos. If you want to see big gains on this stock, if you want to see the stock rocket to $1 tomorrow, this isn't the stock for you. There are some stocks out there like perhaps AMC and GME, which people generally speaking think are going to do much better in the short term than Hcmc, but long term, who knows whether Hcmc will do well or if it will be a penny stock which does not move by too much. And again, that is a gamble, but with the risk obviously could come the reward. So do your own research, come to your own conclusions. I think that we could see some move in Hcmc quite soon, but I don't think it will be substantial. I think we'll see a little bit of barcoding upwards hopefully in the next few months, but obviously short term I'm not expecting too much. Earnings could be a big catalyst, and we could have other catalysts. Just the other day we actually did have a partnership with a company which we talked about on the channel, and even 2 days before that we had another one. So please understand the facts about the company, look at what they're doing fundamentally, make your minds up if you think this is a good investment for you. So thank you for watching through till the end, but let me tell you about our Discord. So on your screen you'll be seeing the N2S Finance Discord. Obviously it is split into multiple sections. Basically at the top we have updates from me and all that kind of good stuff. If you scroll down a bit further we have the main sections where we focus on cryptos, SPACs and other hot stocks including penny stocks, even stable growth stocks as well, and we even have a special AMC GME chat. If you scroll down you can see some research and DD from the community. We also have funny memes and you can see actual contributions from members down here. And again, if you do join us, it is completely free, link is down below. But if you do want to become a Patreon, you will actually get a pink sticker which will be displayed on your name. So your name will come up in pink as mine comes up in red down here, and that will show that you are a Patreon. But other than that, guys, you can join completely for free down below. You do not have to pay anything if you do not want to. Thank you for watching, see you soon.